Yeah. Come on. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Sean Higgs coming at you. Midday money on a Thursday, March 2nd. Tournament time underway. Like, subscribe, ring the bell here. Watching YouTube, Facebook channel, super. Twitter, Mr. Sean Higgs. Free picks posted already there. There's a bunch of them. We got some leftovers, some late night money. We got today's for midday money. We have all of our tournament selections that are underway right now. And we're off to the races. In the banners are scrolling here with the free picks. In the chat, $31.20, 7 days. Why not get it? You got $31? Get on board 7 days. Good time. Good time. Tournaments all over the place. Can't go wrong for $31.20. Promo code Madness. Believe for all your podcasts, wherever you're listening on the podcast channels, go check it out there. Amazon, Google, iHeart, the whole king caboodle, Spotify, TuneIn's pretty cool, Stitcher, wherever. I don't know. Whatever it is. Anyway, let's get right into it. I want to say the madness, but it is. Let's go. Recapping yesterday. 2-0-1 in baseball. 7-6-1 now in the video, plus 120 with spring training. We get a push with our NBA, Miami under 215. Maybe you held that lane, got a 215.5, 216 for a winner. Otherwise, it's a push for us, 35-42. Hockey, loser, Avalanche, 22-31, minus $51. I'm pretty sure they lost. I saw they were losing early. I was like, wow, what happened here? I'm assuming, but when you assume, 7-5. Oh, boy. That's a loser, all right. College hoops, we go 4-1 in the video. Excellent way to start the month. We like to see it. 188, 194. Still work to do here. We're down a little chunk. It was a bad February. And people who are new to betting will never lose a game. Those who have been betting for a long time, myself included, 30 years. Sometimes I have a bad month. I did a bad month. Couldn't get my dogs. We'll recover. Well, that's what we do. And one day at a time. Just like the old TV show, old timers out there from the 80s, no remote controls. You get up, change the channel. All right, let's get to today's picks for you. And there's quite a few in the chat. So we had some of these last night. We added some in here today. The lines could have moved. Again, we put these out last night. And we'll go through last night's game. Southern Alabama, minus 3.5. Liberty, minus 13. Valpo, plus 3. Portland, minus 5. Pepperdine, minus 1.5. This morning, I added some more. And away we go here. Norfolk, minus 125. Edwardsville, minus 130. Coppin, plus 154. That should be 145. I messed up. That's a 145 there on Coppin. That's what happens. That's a, look at that. I wrote it. I typing fast. You make mistakes. I hope I didn't do that on the Twitter world, but possibly. I don't think I did because I wrote those in first over there. 145. We're good. American plus a touchdown in Southeast Missouri State minus the 115. So we got a lot of action here. We have games going in half hours. Less now. South Alabama, I see the lines moved a little bit. It is what it is. I bet South Alabama myself yesterday. I got them at a 3.5. That was the first game I put in yesterday for myself. So I kind of like South Alabama. And when it comes to some of these tournaments, we talked about them last night, you don't have to jump into all these guys. There's a bunch. Doesn't mean you got to bet them because it's tournament or it's day action. You're going to see day games. You're going to think you have to run to bet them. You don't. You don't got to bet them. So let me just jump into the Sunbelt kind of stuff. So again, we have South Alabama here, and we put a little plus $9 on them for the conference. Mentioned that the other day when we did some late night kind of stuff. We have South Alabama plus 9 and a little Louisiana plus 330 here in the Sun Belt. Game later on, we have Troy and Arkansas State. I ended up betting, we're doing a show last night. I ended up taking Arkansas State in this one. Old Dominion. I ended up betting the under in this game. I got a 130.5. It was a 132. We put the lines out here when we did the show. Georgia Southern, 5 Monroe. No real opinion on this cat. No real opinion. Again, you got the 1 seed at a nickel plus $5 in this conference. So, me, I'm going to go, James Madison's not bad. I got the little stars next to him, little asterisks there. Plus 380. You want to do that? You don't want to take 330 or a $9? You really can't go wrong with any of these at decent plus money. Even Marshall plus 210. They got the best backcourt. I understand. You want to take some guard play? Sure. I'm not going to say don't do it. Don't do it. Do it. And then we'll jump to the Missouri Valley real fast, just because we have a game at 1 o'clock there. And here it is right off the bat: Illinois State and Northern Iowa, 1 o'clock. There you go. I got Northern Iowa, little Panther action. Let's go there. Your next game up is a 3:30 game, Evansville, Indiana State. Indiana State should roll this game. They should. Do I want to lay 20? I got an angry face. I love it. Thanks for the angry face. I upset somebody. Just popped up. I love it. At least you're watching. So, yeah, Indiana State should roll. Absolutely, they should roll. Why wouldn't they roll? I mean, they're a 17-point fave. Get it done. Am I going to lay that 20? No. Night action. Murray and Valpo. I grabbed Valpo yesterday in this spot. Ilshai and Missouri State. You want to take Missouri State? I'm not hating it. Ilshai. We got my Missouri notes here in front of me. Where's my Missouri? So many. I can't just wait till Friday so I can throw all of my little things out basically and just go to like smaller sheets of paper. So, Missouri, they beat Drake twice. Belmont, 2 tough games. They lost to Bradley twice. I don't hate them, right? Because Ilshai they're 4-16 in conference. You really bet on that kind of squad? No, not really. $6.50 and $9. Indiana State and Southern Illinois for me. Let's go to the comments. See how everybody's doing today. Brandon Higgs, how are you today? I am good. Brandon, how are you this morning? Michael's in the house. Good morning. Brandon's here. I don't have a login for Spotify, but I have Amazon Music. There you go, Brandon. You can find me on there. Go to Amazon Music. Midday Money. Give it a listen. Give it a follow. Michael, USC, you're waiting on that 3. Let's pull up some Pac-12 there. Arizona. Good luck with that. It's down to 1.5, huh? What was this last night? I don't think it's going to go up. I don't think you're getting that one. I think the time has passed for a +3 there, Michael. What is this? What's in 767? This was a 2. It's come down. I don't think you're getting 3. Wichita plus 17.5. Again, Houston. I'm not. No, Houston's a good team. That being said, do I want to lay again 20 here? No, we don't want to lay 20. I got phone calls coming in. I'm by myself today. No Tim today. Tim Taru is not going to be rolling out with us today. So, yeah, I think we've missed that on a 3. I think 17.5 with Wichita, probably worth it. I like Houston again. 20 points, it's a lot. South Alabama, already betted. I guess it was horrible, much nicer. All right. That's the way we like it. Nicer. Tamush, I'm going with Manhattan and Oakland. Your thoughts? I already bet the Grizzles plus 8 last night. And Manhattan, like I said, I was talking our pal Anthony here, Planet Sports, and he was jumping into some AA MAC. And I was like, honestly, I said, I didn't really look at a lot of MAC stuff. I was looking at the tournaments, just trying to get a lot of stuff together. It's a busy weekend. You got to try to get a little bit ahead of all these things because, some get lines, they don't come out till in the morning or really late at night. We have game wins, goes on. So I don't really look at a lot of action. Manhattan, I don't mind. This line was did it open at 8? 727. Open at 8's come down. I'm going to say take a dog in this spot. Why is it coming down? Siena 17-12, playing good ball. But yeah, give me Manhattan. Who's Manhattan? Red Foxes or the Jaspers? Jaspers. They're the Jaspers. They're Jaspers. Oakland, I'm already on with you. Marist is Red Foxes, I believe, right? Marist Red Foxes. Anyway, yeah, give me the dog there and Oakland. I like it. Notre Dame. I was with you on Notre Dame. I said that to Moose. Everybody's running a bet Pitt at 3, and it was coming down. Last game for Bray, a 2-win team in conference play. Yeah, excellent play. Good job by you. Gabe, Troy -7. Let's find some Troy here against Arkansas State. I'm against you in the Troy. That's why I didn't know where I was looking. I'm like, where's that? I got Arkansas State in that game. Indiana State game under. I don't hate that. I mean, listen, Indiana State, because Indiana State scored a bunch of points here, but it's Evansville. And I just kind of lean to the under in that one because if Indy covers their number, which again I didn't bet it, they should. Evansville's pathetic. They're a 1-win conference team. I just like the over because I think that Indiana State will get to their 80. Your bet on the under here is you're saying that Evansville doesn't get to 60. I know 80-60 is 140, but you know what I'm saying? I just feel like that's a low number to get, that these guys can't get 65, 66, 67 points from Evansville. Wright State, I bet it. Oklahoma, I bet it. Lipsy versus Kennesaw, I don't hate it there. Youngstown over, I can get behind. The Penguins over there. The Shmoo over. Let's see what we got here. In the Shmoo against Memphis. 757. It was a 153 last night. So has it moved? Still the same number? Actually, it did what you said. It's 156 now. Interesting. So it's gone up 3 points. Huh. I don't know. I don't like that move. I'm gonna lean to the under in that SMU game. I know they're bad. Pepperdine. I said that last night, Gabe, on the show. Pepperdine 0-12 on the road, 9-21, lost 81-73 and 80-75 to these guys, the Pacific, and they're favored. Sign me up. Sign me up on Pepperdine. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't even know. Did I put Pepperdine in the chat? I'm not sure if I have. I do have Pepperdine in the chat. -1.5 last night. And Oregon State. Against Stanford. I don't hate a nice home dog. Take the 5.5. Sure. What is this at right now? 751. This was a 5.5 last night. So was it a 5 now? Came down a little bit. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Take those Beavers. Brandon, I was with the Warriors for opening day, and we lost. Parker McCollum was there. Little rodeo action. The Mules were killing. He's been terrible. My bank account is dwindling. Listen, the Mule was hitting me up on Twitter like, tell Tim the Suns to Moose. What are we gonna do with the Mule Shul? Anyway, David, how are you there? Good morning. Hitting the Devils last night. Excellent win. I was the other way. Good win for you there. Vancouver team total over. What do we got? Cold cash on the ice this morning or this evening, per se, with Vancouver. The Canucks against the Wild. Do you want to go against Ken Wild with Terry? I always say that when I see Terry. Fine. Minnesota's pretty hot. Do I want to go over 2.5 team goals here? I'm going to say no to that. Minnesota's been a little bit of an underrun. I know Vancouver's been scoring. It's a 6-point total. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say under here. Lock it in with the King. He's having a nice little college hoop season. King's putting out the winners in the chat. Michael, Spurs first half money line. Indiana's a favorite. Lost 12 straight first quarters. Warriors plus whatever points I can get before tip. Clippers 1-4 since they traded for Russell. Dubs at home. Dog cover 12 straight. Let's see what we got here in this crap NBA 4 games. So I see 3.5 there. Again, the Pacers. Do I want to lay there? How about a Tim special on the over in that game? Like, I'm not running to bet these NBA games today. I mean, how about Dallas? Maybe the Mavericks there, right? Sixers with a nice win last night. Sans Embiid over Miami. Now they're in Dallas. Brandon, Greg, are you on Spotify? Yes, I'm on Spotify as well. I'm on Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Apple iTunes, Google Play, Amazon. Data great. USA -3, South Alabama. Let's go for it. Arkansas State. I bet it. Yes, Michigan +9 and over 139 in the teaser. He's teasing up college basketball like a true degenerate Michigan fan. Oh my goodness, what are we doing? Data great. It's teasing up against Illinois. Ooh, Indiana State over. That's the thing. Yeah. You want to go Indiana State over their team total. I get it. It's Evansville scoring. Yeah, they're the 5 seed. Listen, you have, Bradley and Drake are the 2 top teams, right? They go 16-4, 15-5. Southern Illinois, Belmont, both on 14-6. Indiana State was 13-7. And you had some bad teams at the bottom. I mean, Emily was 1-9. Illshy 4-16, Valpo 5-15, Illinois State 6-14. So you had some losing teams there. But the good teams kind of split when they played. Anything goes. In Arch Madness. Walk This Way's in the house. Walk This Way. I mentioned you. I don't know if you were the other day. I mentioned your. You said take Liberty the other day, like laying 15 or whatever they rolled. So I see you here now. I got to give you a credit. Reynolds, the hook on the Texas game saved you. Good spot last night. And I said that game was a little tricky for me. I sort of leaned Texas. I didn't end up betting either side of that because I could make arguments for both Texas teams there. But yeah, tough one to go down. TCU backers. Oh my goodness gracious. If you say 2.5 in your book right now, okay. All right, I was seeing 1.5. So it could be different. It could be different all over the joint. I said hi to Tim already. Tim, okay. Oh boy, we have a special guest to this show. You want to come in? Come on in. It's all right.
What's up, Higgy Pop?
Where are you going? You're Ohio guy. You can come in with some OVC, Ohio Valley insight.
Well, I'm in New York today, so
you're
actually just got some meetings with operators and stuff tonight, and meeting with some of our rake tech guys. So yeah, it's super exciting, big day. This to me is the start of the madness for real, because the conference tournaments that were before today, I mean, were like, they were the dreads of.
Yeah, and a lot of them were just kind of like the bottom kind of play into the bye week teams. So it's got one or each conference had a game or two. Today we got 9 conferences underway right now. So we're on our way. We're on our way.
And to me, also, I think, and I don't know, I guess I maybe even shouldn't say that, but I like these conferences that you don't get to see. Because they're just not on TV that often. Obviously, if you watch early season, some of these guys played the big boys back in the day. But then, you can't even get them on like anything. So I'm excited to watch some of these teams. Like you said, the Ohio Valley Conference, I think, is going to be a nice conference. I also think this coming weekend there's going to be, because if you look at all there's a lot of these conferences, the big conferences, that still left to be decided. Teams that got to get in, so I think this coming week is going to be absolutely crazy. It seems like every team is on the bubble this year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because every team looks like they're 17-12 or 18-11. I mean,
it's like the Big 12. Like one week, you think Iowa State's really good. Then all of a sudden they lose 3 or 4 games in a row, and you're like, okay, well, Kansas State's good. And then they lose, and it's like, they just keep beating up each other. Now, either the Big 12 is the best conference of all time if they get all but, I've seen 9 or 10 projected. Either they're the best conference ever, or they're just mediocre where they just beat up on each other and they're getting credit for it. I don't know. We won't know until the tournament,
No, and that's a good, because then you kind of bring up the Big Ten into that conversation. Like, oh, it's Purdue, but it's like we've seen them not be able to adjust and lose it. They're just losing on the road, and that's the thing. Teams just lose on the road this year. Like, hey, it's easy. Take this team. They're on the road, only getting 1.5. Well, good luck with that, because every team has 4. Even the good teams are 4 and 5 on the road. Right?
Yeah, Purdue. I'm not saying they need this game tonight, because they're going to be a 1, 2, or 3 seed. Which this year, that's all you got to be. You just got to be a top 3 seed. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I don't think there's not one team out there that I would be scared of if I'm a top 20 team. I mean, like on any given week, you can beat any of these teams this year. I mean, you think Houston's that good? I think Houston's a good team. In other years, they would not be close to number one.
I like Houston. The thing is with them, we've seen them sometimes this year, like the Temple game. Like they could win 80-44, and then it's 56-55.
Yep.
You know,
they're good on defense, though.
I
love teams that are good on defense at tournament time, and they're definitely good on defense.
Yeah, because they don't mind winning ugly. They do it. And we've seen them the last few years. They're always right there. It's just they have trouble. Sometimes they they hit their ruts and they can't pull out a win. I think them and Alabama are probably the two best right now. I mean,
Kansas is
Kansas is definitely
pretty good, and they got in. I think the best in-game coach is Bill Self. So it's like, if you get me equal talent and then you give me Bill Self, okay, I'll take it. But this is a down year. ACC's really bad this year. Historically bad for the ACC.
Yeah, no, the ACC. I mean, Pitt had a chance to wrap things up, and everybody's running to bet them. Well, what are you doing there, betting a team? Bray's in his last game. They lay an egg. Is it Miami? Is Duke or North Carolina going to turn it on? Like North Carolina's just been.
The best three teams are Pitt, Virginia, and Miami, but they're
even
not
Virginia. I'm going to say Miami is the best.
They were years. They weren't like. It's not the Virginia team that won the national championship or was the number one seed. They got beat us by a 16 seed. Those teams were way better than this team. I mean, their margin for error this year is like, just razor thin. It's like everybody's this year.
I grabbed a couple bucks on these guys when I start doing the show. Houston, UCLA, and Baylor. I said for the Big 12, I'm going to go. There's Texas, there's Kansas, whoever team. I just went Baylor. I was just trying to find another team that had a little longer odds. But if
Kansas
Baylor's
guard's healthy, they might have the best guards in the country, which guard play matters in the tournament time. The one thing I always like UCLA, they've been there the last few years. It's can they score enough from the inside because they're good on defense, they can rebound. It's just not the greatest game coach.
If they get through Arizona again in the Pac-12, because it's the way nobody sees the teams out west. So I think at 13, I think this will probably be down into a 8 or 9 by the time tournament runs around. If they have a good Pac-12 tournament, if they win that, I think it'll.
I don't know. The Pac-12 is so bad this year that I don't know how much credit they'd get. I mean,
Arizona,
like you said, Arizona and them are the far. But I mean, we're talking about they might only get 3 teams in. Maybe not even that. So it's This is the year for the non-Power 5 conferences. This is the year because teams, the Mountain West is getting a bunch of teams in this year.
Well, hopefully they get teams in. I mean, San Diego State, Boise, Utah State, and I think Nevada should all get in there. I mean,
no one wants to play those teams because they all play good defense. They're all a bunch of upperclassmen, guys that have been there 5-6 years, 8 years, like the old BYU teams. Those are dangerous teams to play. Very dangerous teams.
As much as I want to see my Drakes and Bradleys and those teams in, let's be honest. Arizona State's 11-7. They have 20 wins. They're going to get in. They're over 500 in conference play.
If they lose tonight and then they lose the first game of the Big 12 tournament, they're not getting in because they beat Creighton when Creighton was banged up. That was their one out of conference that you'd be like, impressive. Yeah. But you just can't finish the year bad. That win at Arizona, that half court shot was probably saved their season because I don't think they're winning tonight at UCLA. It's probably senior night, right?
Well, that game's been interesting because you got them off of a big win, and UCLA's got Arizona on deck. So, do you want to lay double digits? I don't want to lay double digits there, but I also think they could be a little flat after that shot.
I think. Well, I mean, it's a must-win for Arizona State. It's like if they win this game, they're in. It doesn't matter what happens next week. Yeah. If they go get embarrassed, then you start to say not only they didn't have a ton of opportunities for quality wins because they didn't go challenge themselves.
Yeah. What do you feel about UConn coming out of the as a Final Four team?
I think the Big East is way underrated this year. I think Creighton's good now that they're healthy. I think Xavier's really good. They got a bunch of dudes that are 4th and 5th year players. Marquette's good. UConn's good. I would not want to play Providence if like Providence. I'm guessing they're going to be like an 8, 9, 10 seed. They are not. I mean, they play great defense, have decent guard play. Not the greatest in-game coach there, but I think the Big East is the second best conference this year, and I don't think it's close. I think the SEC is really weak. I think the Big Ten is probably the weakest year. They probably, I mean, if Michigan gets in, they're going to end up with what, 17, 18, 19 wins. It's like they've just beat up on Big Ten teams. They haven't beat anybody outside of that. I just, to me, Indiana's decent. Purdue's, I think, can be really good. Maryland can only win at home. Like Northwestern might be the out of those teams. I know they lost last night, but they might be that team because they play great defense. And the Boo kid, the point guard, is ridiculous.
Hey, you want to just talk for a bit? Somebody's ringing my doorbell. I don't know who's here.
Yeah. So what do you got? South Alabama -3.5, Liberty -13. That Liberty game's interesting. Higgs, I can see that. That Liberty is, you at this point of the year, you can't be afraid to lay some of these big numbers. I know historically, Higgs will probably say it. Any of us cappers will say it. Laying big numbers is not something we usually do. I'll just look at a different game. But this is the time of year. It's the haves and have-nots, teams that have a lot to play for, teams that don't have a lot to play for. So which we've talked about all the teams that have a lot to play for. So, but yeah, see what I have today. I like Wichita tonight against Houston. I think, he said it. Houston can either win by 30 or it's like 3-point game. Wichita is like 7-2 against the spread or 8-2 against the spread on the road this year. They don't win a lot of those games, but they keep them close. So I think that one, and then I think that Rutgers Minnesota game, I think is going to be super low scoring. So I kind of like the under in that one as well. So, but I think the game of the night, he said it. I think there's the Pac-12, Arizona versus USC. USC kind of needs a win, and Arizona State versus UCLA. Both of those teams, USC, even though if you look at the record, you think, 19-20 wins, they're going to get in, but they haven't beat a whole lot of people. USC needs a win to secure, to make sure, and Arizona State as well.
I'm like, who's banging on my door? It's like I got a fax delivery. I have no idea what it is that I had to sign for.
Is it one of the blow-up dolls?
I'm worried. I'm waiting for a helicopter to throw. Like if somebody set me up for some kind of it's not even Christmas.
What do you think? I was just talking about. I think the two best games of the night because they mean a lot for each team. USC gets Arizona and UCLA Arizona State. Those two teams are like, USC needs it, Arizona State needs it, and then both Arizona and UCLA, they play each other this weekend, which it means a ton. Both, to probably tournament seeding and everything. I don't know. Has UCLA secured the? Is that if they both win tonight? Does that game on Sunday or is it Saturday or Sunday? I think it's Sunday, right?
So UCLA is locked in. They're 16-2.
They've already won the conference.
They're in. There's no way
they're
because Arizona's 13-5. Southern Cal's 13-5. So
Southern, I thought the Big 12 was. I thought the Pac-12 was going to be the second or third best conference this year. Because I thought Arizona State was going to be pretty good. I thought this USC team was going to be a lot better than what they've been. They've been banged up.
They started bad. I
thought Oregon was going to be a 2021 win team. And I know a lot of these, everybody says Pac-12 has been banged up all year. So is everybody else. I mean, you still have to find ways to, when you're losing to Stanford and Washington and Washington State, those are you can't afford to lose those.
I mean, this game here, both teams 13-5. I think I got to lean towards a little USC here. I know a guy in chat was like, he's got USC at +2, 2.5. I'm like, because I'm seeing some 1.5s out there for that game.
I see. As soon as I landed in New York this morning, I was,
jumping.
We have it in Ohio, but you got a lot of different apps here, and I got you got to relog in, and I'm trying to get where the numbers have moved and stuff because I put my bets in last night, so I'll bet some more. And that USC line, I saw some ones, so I started searching around, and I see some 2.5s. So I'm like, man, that's a pretty wide spread because that's like I said, a pretty big game tonight.
And everybody's going to bet Arizona. They're a top 10 team, and they're a short fave.
Yeah, this year the ranked teams that are low favorites on the road have been
losing.
Death. I mean, death.
And they beat them by 15.
But this year, it's way worse.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I had such a bad February. I couldn't catch a dog, but the only thing that kept me from being absolutely pummeled was fading the ranked teams, whether it's a 1.2 point road fave or just them being underdogs. everything else, every other dog for me has been garbage.
Yep.
It turned around yesterday, 4-1. So I'll take that. But
I also think the NBA's got some good games. I know you're not a huge NBA guy, but that Clippers-Warriors game, Warriors game, I think is because both these teams are like 1-2 games up. You do not want to end up as a 7-8 seed have to play in the playing game.
Is Curry playing? Like I kind of like the Clippers.
I don't think so.
Spot.
I have the Clippers. I gave away as a free pick on the video that I had this morning. But the Clippers have they lost 3 of the last 4? Like something like that?
Yes, yeah. Again, someone mentioned in the chat since Russ got there, I think they dropped like 3 in a row or something like that.
But they lost the overtime game, right?
Like
the
the
double
Russ
overtime or something.
Yeah. So they lost 108-101, the overtime, 176-175 against Sacramento, and then they lost
crazy stuff.
Then after that, they lost in overtime at Denver. So,
which I mean, those if you win that overtime game, then everything's okay.
I mean, you go to overtime twice. You had a crazy one in Sacramento, and then you go overtime again on a road with Denver, who I think I like them the most. I mean, I don't know.
Did you see Durant last night? They look pretty good.
I just can't bet on. I mean,
it's
you beat a team that had 4 starters out basically.
Well, I mean, I get it, but it was just like you never know a guy that's been off this long. I mean, that dude can just play. I mean,
he can play when he's healthy. He can play, sure.
But I mean, it's like LeBron and Anthony Davis. You got Chris Paul always injured, and Durant always injured, and even Booker's always injured. So you have 3 guys and they traded away all their depth. So they're going to have to play in the playoffs, which you do get a lot more days off, but still you're going to have to play a bunch of games in a row without getting injured, and that might be the Achilles heel on that team. Well, I mean, every team's injured in the NBA now.
Yeah. I don't know how they have such
so many days off now.
So many days off.
I think today I should take load management. That's what today should be. We should not be doing work today because it's load management.
Well, that's why I just bypass NBA 6 out of 7 days a week. Although I do like the Mavericks today with Sixers in a back-to-back spot and an awful win.
And the Mavs have been not good since really Kyrie got there. No. The one game he was okay.
Well, he's in enemy territory down here. I mean, there's NASA here. The guy's a flat earther. The guy, he's probably being attacked on all sides. He's emotional, amoeba down here.
I don't know how you trade for this guy. I know he's it's his last year of his deal, so it's it's kind of prove it year or half a year. But to me, it's any team that trades for Kyrie Irving is just it's one thing when you choose to sit out because of load management. He just does stupid stuff, so he doesn't. It's just he's a cancer waiting to happen for your team. Mark Cuban's probably ain't no way we're signing this guy.
No, well, especially not to $50 million, whatever he wants. But he's good enough. I mean, he won a championship.
He's unbelievable.
He's good when he plays. That's the thing. That's I kind of like him in this spot. They've been playing bad. They got Sixers. This is a load management spot for them.
I think it comes down to the East. It's going to be the Sixers,
Bucks and Celtics,
and the Celtics.
Yeah.
And maybe you throw the Cavs could maybe upset one of them, but they're not running through and upsetting all 3.
No, they got a little defense though, so that's good.
And then the West is throw 10 teams in it. I mean, it's
it's wide open.
The Nuggets have the best record in the league, but we're real close. I think maybe one game maybe separating them and Milwaukee and the Celtics, but it's going to be good. Going to be a fun playoffs. These are the playoffs you want to bet, though.
Well, because I don't know. I don't agree with that. Oh, yeah, but they're not going to be huge money dogs. They'll probably be, what are you going to be at 140s, 150s probably? I mean, there's that much parity.
Yeah,
it's not
maybe.
The separation
but
is
8
great.
versus 1 usually is pretty much they're going to sweep or, gentlemen sweep 4-1. I don't think that's happening this year. I don't think maybe in the East, but not in the West. The West is going to be every series is going to be 6-7 games. It's going to be unbelievable.
You got to see how it plays out. You got to see where the seeding is. Who's going to show up? Are they going to play for seeding? These guys?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember the All-Star game being as late as it was this year, where it's only a third of the season's left after the All-Star game. I don't know how I feel about that. It's the trade deadline. The trade deadline was usually right around the All-Star game, maybe even after the All-Star game. This year, it was before the All-Star game.
Who gets in? They got
remember Karl Anthony Towns? No, it wasn't Karl Anthony Towns. It was
What's the playing game? Who gets in the playing game? What teams are that?
I mean, they're doing everything possible to get the Lakers in. So, like,
they're 11 right now. They're a game back in New Orleans, half a game ahead of Portland, a game ahead of Oklahoma City.
I mean, I would probably say Oklahoma City and the Lakers. But I mean, if LeBron's out, they're saying a week or 2 weeks. Anthony Davis never plays, extended games without getting injured.
I mean, they're home. I mean, they had a game against OKC, and I think they got Charlotte. I think they play on the road or somebody. So I mean, and then the rest of the games at home. Win your games.
They don't have the hardest schedule, but it's like you're still in the league. You still have to, like you got to be healthy. It's crazy. I mean, they're talking about expansion in the NBA, which
expand this league.
Like there are good players on the bench. Don't get me wrong, but look at some of these days when we have 2 or 3 stars sitting out. Who ends up starting and playing minutes? It's like, dude, there's not
expand this league. Is that a joke? They should be contracting
to like
about
Seattle and
teams.
Vegas. Seattle and Vegas.
Bring it to like baseball. Drop it down to 24.
It's going to
Houston
happen.
Is 32 games back.
Well, they're trying to lose. Houston, Charlotte.
Exactly. You're trying to lose for what? But what players you're trying to get that are going to make you good?
Victor Viambi, that kid.
And he's good. And he's going to turn. And he'll turn Houston from where is it? Houston from a 13-win team. They're going to flip it to 49-13 with him.
They're going to have the most available cap space, and if they get the number 1 pick, which isn't, just because you have the worst record doesn't mean you get it because it's a lottery. So they could end up with a 3rd pick, and then there's not that many other guys in this draft that I say is game changers. But they're
how's that guy game changer? My daughter weighs more than
the Pistons.
Guy gets blown over. He's gonna get a forearm. He's gonna be out crippled.
I mean, I think the Pistons are 1 game. They have 1 more win, I think, than
they have 15 wins. Them in San Antonio got 15 wins. Houston has 13 wins.
So it's like it's it's going to come right down to the end. They're setting out Houston. They got all these young guys. They're still setting guys out because they're like, man, if we play all our stars and they all hit one night, we might win.
That's terrible.
All right, so the Wizards. I also think the Wizards tonight. I kind of like the Wizards tonight. This Raptors team can't win on the road. I mean, it's like the Raptors should be in the Big Ten because no bad team can win on the road.
11-19.
And Toronto, having to play in Toronto is so tough for away teams. They have such a home court advantage, but man, the road. You would think with Fred VanVleet, what's the kid?
Siakam.
Yeah, they're great defenders. Usually that travels on the road. Has not been the case this year. Now, granted, they've been injured a bunch. So
yeah, I mean they're under 500.
They didn't trade any of those guys at the trade deadline, which they were all supposedly available. It's kind of weird that they didn't trade them, unless they're thinking they can get more in the offseason. So, but what are we? 2 weeks from today is March Madness.
Yeah, Selection Sunday is the 12th. Yeah,
it's going to be an unbelievable tournament. I mean. I can't think of. I was going back trying to think of a more wide open year, and I just couldn't find one. Going back 20, 30 years.
No, I mean we saw this year we saw Alabama. How many number 1 teams were there? We had the Purdue run. We had a Connecticut run.
Tennessee was number 1, right?
Tennessee. Houston.
Wasn't Gonzaga?
Gonzaga was the one for a bit.
I mean, I think we've had like 6 or 7 different number 1 teams. Yeah. And I mean the short stints at the number 1 too. It's like as soon as you get the number 1, it was like instantly getting beat. And I mean, and then have UNC. They're going to need to win some games. They need to win. They got to beat Duke. I think they'll be at home this weekend.
They'll get in. They're North Carolina. They'll get in the tournament. Come on.
I don't know. They have 1 quad 1 win. 1, and it's a Virginia team that's really struggling right now. Yeah. So I imagine that. And then the ACC, their best seed is going to be Miami, most likely. You're talking they're probably going to end up as a 3 or 4 seed. I mean, when was the last time you saw no ACC 1, 2 for sure seeds, and maybe not even a 3?
Somehow, whoever wins the ACC will be a 2 seed,
unless it's like Syracuse or
No, like, if it's like somehow
Virginia
Duke,
Tech.
I don't
Virginia
think
Tech can't win on the road like crazy, but that's a team that could win the tournament.
Terrible. 2-9 on the road.
2-9. I mean, it's college basketball this year.
Yeah.
There's no one that won. Alabama's done okay on the road. The SEC teams have done okay on the road. The top teams because the SEC's not great.
Yeah.
The Big 12 teams have not done great on the road. In that
It's a little more competitive. I mean, your bottom. I mean, Notre Dame and Louisville were just guaranteed wins basically all season. And Georgia Tech, although competitive ATS wise, wasn't much 5 wins. Florida State. I'm betting on Florida State to win the ACC.
You know the conference I think is going to have a great tournament. Dayton's conference, the Atlantic
10. Yeah.
I think Dayton, VCU, St. Louis, all been really good teams all year. And then those other teams have all pulled upsets. Like all of those St. Joe's, George Mason, all those.
With the exception of Loshai, like you have 6 teams. What was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams over 500. You got an 8 and 9 team, 8 and 10, 7, 10, 7, 10, 7, 10, like competitive. And Massachusetts or Rhode Island are 5 teams.
But those are the type teams that like they might win a game. You never know in the tournament. Not beating Dayton or VCU or. I think it's going to come down to Dayton, VCU, and St. Louis, but. All those teams need to win the tournament to get in.
Yeah,
I don't think. And
that's what we're talking about. Like these guys, I'd love to see VCU, Dayton, even Fordham somehow pulled out 23 wins out of season. Like, give me all these teams. Give me all them instead of here comes 17 and 13.
If it was VCU and Dayton, if it was those two teams in the final, which I don't even know if that's possible. I haven't seen the bracket yet, but if those two both get to the finals, it's a close game. Maybe both get in, but it would need to be like. A really close game, I think.
The Sunday show for Selection Day will be insane by me because we're going to have as much as I said North Carolina's getting in at 18 and 14 or something like that. That's wrong. Like I want to see St. Louis at 21 and 11 in there.
They're not getting in if they don't beat.
I know it's terrible.
If they do not beat Duke, they're not getting in unless they win the.
I hope. Oh well, let's hope.
Can you imagine a team that returned all those players? From the final, they were winning with just a few minutes to go. Could have won the national championship, and then this year they just can't. They can't beat any good teams. Pitt swept them. The Duke game really wasn't that close at Duke earlier. They did beat Virginia this past week. Was it this week? Was this week?
At home? That was at home. They took care of business.
That was their first quad 1 win of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're And you kind of wait for them because they started out the new year. I think they went 6-1, Craig.
Yep.
They started out pretty good. So you're like,
all right. They started beating the bottom of the ACC.
And that's the thing. Did they turn the page or was it high? We got Georgia Tech and Louisville and Florida State.
Like Kentucky, all they won all these games. It's like, well, they beat Florida without their best player. It's like, they had Tennessee's number. Tennessee had a bunch of guys out that game too. So they did sweep Tennessee. But it's like Kentucky's lost to everybody that's any good. I don't know. Kentucky's going to get in because that 2 wins against Tennessee is going to get them in.
Yeah.
And they're Kentucky. They'll make an excuse for Duke and North Carolina to get in if all possible. It's just, but sometimes if you got 18 wins, you're not getting in.
They put Syracuse in a playing game the one year at 17 and 14. Like they don't care. It's like, we got to get these alumni in here.
Like I could make the argument this year for every team except one. In everybody but Oklahoma State in the Big 12 because they're just that. It's the conference is absolutely just top to bottom.
But it gets you get a little bias on that because when the strength of schedule is like, these guys, Texas Tech should get in there. They're 5 and 12, but they're 12 of their losses, 9 of the 12 are to top 10 teams. Well, what the heck does that mean? They didn't beat them.
No. Texas Tech's problem is they didn't play anybody outside of conference at all.
They're 16 and 14.
Buzz got to get in because I think this is his 3rd year there. So the pressure would be like, if he didn't make it next year, I'm guessing they would be kind of parting ways. So
it's competitive. Like Iowa State's 8 and 9. Like they used to talk about, like, if you're over 500 in a good conference, you should get in. Well, they're 8 and 9 in conference at 17 and 12. Are they getting in at 19 and 13?
Iowa State has some really good wins.
They're going to get in at 19 and 13.
With Texas A&M, they don't have a whole lot of quality wins. Like they beat some average teams, but Iowa State beat some really good teams early in the year, especially in conference play, and then they've just fallen apart here down the stretch. They have those 2 kids that transferred from the Atlantic 10 school. Was it the big kid and the guard? They were 5th year, the COVID guys.
They left. I thought they left.
George
Mason?
Did
they lose?
George Mason, maybe.
One
of them. I can't
Why
remember.
did I thought they left Duquesne?
They won the play-in game, and then they went all the way to Sweet 16 probably
Yeah,
2
I
or
thought it
3
was
years
Duquesne.
ago.
I think it's Duquesne's kids left.
It's not Duquesne.
No? All right.
It was it's either George Mason or it's not St. Joe's. I think it's George Mason.
Could
maybe.
be. Well,
I can't remember. But it's the really big center and the guard. I think that team, they have a lot of experience. I think the Iowa State team could be, they're well coached. I like that team. I like all those Big 12 schools. Kansas State's got great guard play. I love that kid from Florida that transferred. Like, I love that story. That's going to be if they go far, that's going to be everybody what they talk about,
South Alabama's up early here, I see.
Who's the first game was who was that I saw today?
South Alabama, -3.5.
Oh, yeah, South Alabama, App State. Yeah. I didn't love this game. These first 3 or 4 games today, I was just like, I mean, because I was like, oh, Indiana State. I thought Indiana State line would be 10.5, and I would like them. And then it opened like 16 or 17.
Yeah,
like,
17 points in Indiana State. Crazy.
Which, I mean, sometimes you can lay these big numbers in these conference games because the difference of talent is just ridiculous. But it's like,
I can't lay that. You got to be up 20 points to feel comfortable in that.
Even then, like, I don't know. Did you see the Celtics? That was one of the. I was on the right side of it last night. I had the Cavs. They were up 11. The line was 4.5 to 5, 5.5 to 6. Sorry, and they hit 3 threes. The Cavs, and then they were up 4 and didn't foul. They tried to foul the last 11 seconds and couldn't. They dribbled it out. It's like, man, if you had the Celtics last night, it was one of the worst bad beats I've ever seen. Again, and they made all their free throws. Usually, you have to miss. You're up 11, 50 seconds to go. You have to miss your free throws. They made all their free throws.
This is why we stay away from NBA. No betting allowed. I'll see you in May when there's playoffs.
Crazy. But yeah, Jason Tatum played unbelievable last night. All right, I just wanted to jump on and say hi. I had a little bit before I had to go meet some people here, so I was like, I'm going to jump on and see what Higgs is doing.
Yeah, it's doing
tomorrow.
Basketball.
Tomorrow is it's going to really ramp up because now you have the teams on short rest versus teams that are rested.
Yep.
Be careful. Let's just say that.
That's then who's the little Cinderella coming through? That's when you see our little.
To me, it's conference tournaments is the toughest. It's one of my favorite times. I actually might be more favorite than the big dance, even though I love that too. Because when you have teams that have no rest versus teams that are rested, like you just don't ever see that rest of the year, basically in college basketball. So
it's the best time.
All right, buddy.
Next opening day. All right.
Be good. See you later.
See ya. All right. Back at it. Trevor's thinking Purdue loses. I don't hate fading Purdue on the road here. What have we seen from Purdue? They're struggling right now. They are struggling. What did Craig just say? They lost 3 or 4? Something like that, right? We've been against them. 3 or 4. 100% right. 3 or 4 and 4 or 6. Walk This Way says Boston Terriers in the points and Liberty minus. That's a huge number, 12, 13 points Liberty, but I did bet it. We went over their numbers last night. Liberty at home, crushing teams. Where is it? Do I have it right in front of me? The Liberty numbers. Here we go. Liberty at home. Again, I'll look at Boston real fast here. The Terriers against Army. You want to get 3.5 there? Is that what that's about? Actually, it's up to 4.5, 5. I'm seeing here. Liberty at home. Wins by 20, 20, 10, 20, 17, 29, 20, 18, 34, and 29. Astros today. We got a little baseball action from Brandon. Who the Astros got today? Where's Houston? I don't even see them. You're killing me. They're not even on the schedule, man. What are you doing? Dave, over Purdue, Wisconsin, 126, Arizona -1. USC is the play in that Arizona game. It is USC for me. Purdue, Wisconsin was at 126. I'm dying to see what's in this little box I just got here. I have no idea what it is. It does seem a little low, the Purdue line, Dave. I'm not going to say I'm not against the over. I don't want to bet it. Out of your 2 here, I like the Arizona. Actually, the USC versus Arizona in that spot better than laying Arizona. What do we got in this thing? What is this here? Oh! Where is PSA delivery? PSA. Okay, so they can't authenticate my Corey Kluber metal plate. And then I get a 9. They don't even put this in here perfectly. A 9 on my Julio. It's Memorial Camo, numbered rookie out of 25. And then a Bobby Witt auto gets an 8. Are you kidding me? Come on. What's wrong with that card? They don't even tell you what's wrong with it. I'm like, what is in this box? That's what it was. Team Money's in the house. All my friends, I'm about to say hello. Got to relax. Stock up on some soccer. There we go. Yeah, goodbye. Milwaukee and Horizon League is now 5th likely to win conference tournament. They're second division and 2-point dog side. Yes. Yeah, we talked about the Mizzou. Here is the Mizzou. Number 5 seed. Plus 650. Oh, that's Horizon. I'm in the Missouri. I brought up the wrong one. Stupid me. Duh. Milwaukee is a 2 seed. 9-1. 9-1. And the dog to Wright State. I mean, what are we doing there? What are we doing there? Oh, boy, a lot of comments. We got to race through these comments now, baby. Here we go. Here we go. Did you see what happened in the Rockets game? What happened? Please tell me. Let me know what happened in the Rockets game. Rob Franklin's in the house. Good morning. Brandon's going to the rodeo tomorrow. Excellent. I can't believe you lost to Utah State by 25. Brutal, Desmond. Who came in, Desmond? Was that you? You had the someone came in live on UNLV plus 10.5. South Alabama. Yes, Chris. It was scrolling. I didn't get your comment, but yeah, I bet it myself. Dave is a professor MJ, says Francisco. Locking in with the King coming in. Indiana State, 9.5 first half. I think so. Evansville's brutal. I don't want to lay 20. First half, they'll get it done early. Exactly. Lehigh minus the 3 versus Lafayette. Again, I didn't like anything in this conference. I'm not going to lie. For me, the NEC is not for me. Or no, we got Patriot League. Where's the Patriot League? Here we go. Colgate to win the tournament's about all I got here. American, I do like the points here with American. Boston, no real opinion on here. You want the 8.5? Sure. Lafayette 3.5. Lehigh. Again, just not. No thanks there. No thanks. Francisco's in the house. Welcome. KD, thanks, Higgs. 66.7%. College hoops. Excellent run. Fabulous. And people are going to say, I could do better. You're not doing better 66%, folks. I say all the time, be happy with like 55%. You're cashing 67%. Super. Super duper. Eric's USC, yes. Illinois over Michigan. No real opinion on that. I do like USC, though. EKU plus 12. I have an EKU. It's on Twitter. I said, let's take EKU plus, what are they at? Because I got them right here. Where Eastern, where are they? Where's the ASUN? Plus 1,500. I just ran down the scores for Liberty. I can't do it. Philly in a bad spot. They are. They're bad with Kyrie there, Mike. But Philly's in a back-to-back awful win. It's Dallas or nothing for me. You did the national anthem with Echo Dot on the. Excellent, Brandon. I had TCU. You have to bet early, people. Yeah, you get the early line, no problem. Craig is in here. Who is that, Craig? That was Craig. Brandon's probably confused because he calls me Craig. He's probably like, how did he pull that one off? Craig looking for a pick. Trap at the house from Jesse Shule. Jess, I was no Tim today. I got to send him a text like, hey, just send him some Suns photos. ESPN Plus for the small schools, absolutely. Tate the Great. Purdue stinks. Exactly. Purdue, I'm not loving Purdue. Purdue will be a team I fade in the tournament. Wichita State plus 18 against Houston. I like it. Too many points. Moneyline Markel's in the house. Money bags. Brio, my Facebook buddy. Welcome. Got plus $2, 2,000 on Bama. Yeah, great play. Great play. Moneyline Markel's pumped up about King's big play at plus $2. Dave saying hello. Craig is gone. Colgate, yes. Or Robert's doing the conferences at plus money. Book it. That and Gabe, I'm not even going to like write it down as a joke. I got Colgate myself. I laid 225. Oral should definitely get there themselves. Parlay it up. Yes. Michael, you know, it's crazy. I look at the odds to make Final Four. One of my books, the team with the 9th lowest odds is Florida plus 500. Same as Texas. I have no idea. That's crazy. Maybe the guy's a Florida alumni or something. Pac-12 is terrible. King D. UCLA game's tough. Back-to-back games out to UCLA with Zone on deck. Exactly. ASU, big win. It's just a no play. No thank you. Brandon says that was FedEx. Yes, it was FedEx. How the heck did you know that? That was, and this is definitely, wow. How the heck did you know it was FedEx? Where do you, Brandon, are you at my house? What's going on? Mike, I really want to take a shot at Miami to win the whole thing. Just want to see the brackets for play safe futures. Then the brackets get adjusted. The numbers get adjusted based on those brackets. So if you take Miami, grab Miami. Do it. Pound, like, no. What is that about? Show's over. There's really some of these numbers are big as well. Odds makers know what they're doing. Someone who's does for a long time always have the odds makers over the market. Exactly. We can't get locked in on seeing rankings. Gabe, every time I watch UCLA, they're terrible. I have some tickets on them win all that to get past second round. I think they get past second round. Look at who's in this. Look at the people crying. Who's this guy? Oh my goodness. Look at the hate. Don't do the Clippers. You don't like the Clippers tonight, Markel? I didn't bet it. Eric's on Craig's side. King D's laughing. Suns will get bounced in the second round. They trade all their wing defenders. I don't like the Suns at all. Mavericks, yes, Moneyline Markel. I agree. Today's the day to get them. I think so. Gabe's out of here. NBA talk. Is this inside the NBA? Oh my goodness, you guys killing me. Oh my goodness, still betting aloud. Here we go. OKC stacking. Is he done? All NBA. Nobody wants to talk NBA. Somebody get him for talk about sports. OKC not the same without Gilchrist. Who on a team's creating for himself? Yeah, OKC's definitely not a play on team. King D, I want somebody to talk to. You guys are killing me in the chat. Oh my god. Oh, here we are. Moneyline market. Everybody's like, what happened to the NBA talk? Could you look up the lineup for the Astros? I don't think the Astros are even playing today. Are the Astros playing today? I don't see them. Oh, here they are. I'm sorry. Against St. Louis. I do like them today. I don't, and that's all about, right? I do not like Adam Wainwright. I don't like him in the regular season. I do not like him now. You want to take Houston? We got Kyle Tucker, McCormick, Jake DeRake, Abreu. I'm back. I just froze for a minute. Cincinnati for tonight. Me and the Cockroaches agree on this bet. There you go. Little Cincy action. Peter, we barely got the under last night, 233. Blazers, take the W. Take the win. Take a Rutgers day as your best bet. 9 in a row. Good luck on that one, Pete. I just can't lay. It's 8, might as well be 10 with Rutgers on the road. They have not looked very good lately. Yeah, NBA, you'd lose me at the NBA, King D. You know that. Virginia's overrated, struggle score. Absolutely. Absolutely. My buddy says always fade Craig at his NBA. Houston is the play tonight. Oh, my goodness. Look at a lot of animosity in the chat. Look at this. Conference USA. I was talking about Conference USA. You guys are no. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. It goes to the NBA and people lose their mind. Poor guy needs a friend. Oh, my goodness. I'm trying not to let you guys are killing me here. Look at this. I can't even go through all these comments here. Everything's making fun of the NBA chat. 2 dudes just talking. Mafia connections with Kentucky, and absolutely Kentucky get in. Suns look good with a depleted Hornets team. Exactly. I'll continue to fade the Suns. Me too, Michael. No NBA, no betting allowed. Michael, but fading all teams that made big additions trade deadline. Yes. Kyle's been good. Next year will be worse when his 2023 class arrives. I can't wait. I don't know. I mean, I don't worry about that. Some of these kids, maybe they're good, maybe they're not. I really think about betting Philly tonight. Everyone's going to bet Dallas because of bad spot for Philly. Dallas sets covered East, 10 straight at home. Yeah, I mean, again, for me, it's Dallas has played bad. Back-to-back Philly off a win on top of it. And again, Embiid is a toss-up. College hoops play at 1 o'clock. Illinois State plus 138. Winner first half. Illinois State, Northern Iowa. Okay, we're on opposite sides here. I got a little Northern Iowa, king of MLB. And I'm glad to see the king of MLB's back because MLB's starring. Michael says, nice. King says, nice to Michael's Dallas Philly angle there. Michael, those teams have rest advantage, but the other teams may have momentum or rhythm. I agree for the tournaments. I kind of like betting a team in a game too. They're going to come in or Brandon says, who was that? That was Craig. They're playing St. Louis. I gave you the rundown there. App State running. Yeah, a little run. That's all right. I mean, it's still early. Again, don't get wrapped up watching the game if you have one side or the other, and then you can start live betting. I'm live betting this. I'm doing this. King of MLB spring trade and Marlins over the Nats. I sort of like the Nats here, although I am a big Cabrera guy. I do like a little Edwin Cabrera. Pounded Sports, Tigers and Stros money line today. I don't hate it. I like the Tigers. I think they're going to win some games this year, so I don't hate that one. Orioles are a fade team to me. I think everybody's going to be hyped up on Baltimore. Michael Walker coming in. Illinois money line. Sure, I don't hate that over. I mean, although I'm not a huge money line guy, more than 140, but Wichita State plus the points, not minus there because they're playing Houston. Arizona USC over. I don't really hate that. I kind of like USC there. Valpo Murray under. I could see that, yes. Boston Terriers, Florida Atlantic, okay. Norfolk, I got them. SEMO, yes. SIU, Indiana State. We're all basically on a lot of these games here. The Indiana State, though, I can't get behind there. Can't get behind that big Indiana State line. That's too much for me. They should win, yes. I mean, the other ones you see it. I got SIU, Norfolk, Mizzou, Valpo. Eric's coming in. I think they swap your 10s for 9s under PSA. How could you prove those? I agree. I mean, like, how do you know? Whatever. Like the Bobby Witt one. I mean, what is really, you can't really tell, like, you just look at it. It's not like it doesn't got a bad corner. The centering looks pretty good, right? The sides look good. The corner doesn't look bad. This corner doesn't look too bad. How is it a freaking 8? 40, and it's numbered. 41 and 99. PSA mostly focused on corner surface, so you don't care about centering as much as the companies. I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe if I would have wiped it down first or something, I didn't do anything. Under Illinois State, I like the under there. against Northern Iowa. Yes, to Moose. Steven, today for NBA, let's go Toronto and over, Dallas and under, Indy and over, Golden State under. All right, Toronto, we can't do Toronto on the road. That's a no. Dallas, sure. Pacers, I don't hate, I guess. I don't really hate the Pacers right there. It's San Antonio. Definitely an over. Golden State in the under. Again, don't hate that. Golden State's banged up, and Clippers are in a spiral right now. King D, appreciates the love. 6-6 in NBA yesterday for Stephen Porter. College 2-1-1. Hey, you grind out a little bit. You have days like that. Take it. It's better than going 4-8 or something, you know. Heath, Boston, you money line. There's a lot of Terrier love in here against the Black Knights. I'm not saying no to any kind of underdog in conference play. So money line it up. Let's go. Money line Markel's. King D saying, let's get it. Money line Markel. Detroit +5 first half against a little Youngstown, right? Is this Youngstown game we're talking about? Get some Penguin action. Yeah, the freeze. Gil, good to see you. Yeah, random freeze. It was a late freeze today. That's 7 minutes ago. And that's it. I think everybody left after the freeze. Final recap on the plays, and we'll get out of here. So we have South Alabama already underway. Liberty -13. Valpo +3. Portland -5. Pepperdine -5.5. Norfolk -125. SIU -130. Coppin +145. America +7. Southeast Missouri State -115. And we are out of here. We're out of here.